Los Angeles, California, January 2025. The opening shot of the viral TikTok wasn't flashy. It didn't need to be. A slow zoom into a freeze frame of Beyoncé standing on stage at the Grammy Awards, arms raised, fingers splayed in a diamond shape, the lighting just right so a single spotlight formed a glowing eye behind her. The caption read, "She's not hiding it anymore. Hashtag Illuminati confirmed. Hashtag Blue Ivy is next." In less than 3 hours, it had 12.8 million views. And the storm was only beginning. Origins in the shadows. Long before Beyoncé became Queen Bey, she was already royalty to the conspiracy world. The first whispers started back in 2008, when her solo success skyrocketed. Her choreography in the Single Ladies video featured symmetrical movements, fast eye blinks, and what some YouTube theorists claimed were Masonic signal codes. The diamond hand gesture, dubbed The Rock by Jay-Z for his label Rockefeller, was seen by conspiracy theorists as the all-seeing eye symbol of the Illuminati. When Destiny's Child disbanded, fans speculated that Beyoncé had ascended, trading pop stardom for a seat in the mythical elite, a global secret society manipulating politics, media, and finance. Every move she made was analyzed. Her halftime show at the Super Bowl in 2013, black costumes, power stances, geometric backdrops, was declared a ritual. Her surprise 2016 album Lemonade, with themes of betrayal and vengeance, was deemed symbolic of sacrifice required for power. But most of it remained fringe content, until Blue Ivy was born. The Child and the Code. On January 7, 2012, Beyoncé gave birth to Blue Ivy Carter. Just 24 hours later, a Reddit thread titled "Blue Ivy equals Born Living Under Evil, Illuminati's Very Youngest," appeared on a conspiracy board. The theory posited that her name was an acronym. A photo of Beyoncé holding her newborn child in a hospital bed, with a nurse wearing a necklace bearing an eye-shaped pendant, went viral. Theorists claimed the baby was pre-chosen, that her birth was astrologically timed, and that she would be used to carry on the bloodline. It all sounded absurd. But over time, the posts grew in number and boldness. YouTubers decoded music videos frame by frame. Blue Ivy's appearances at award shows and fashion events were dissected. When she spoke publicly for the first time at age 8, a group of TikTok creators claimed her voice had been digitally cleansed to project subliminal frequencies. In 2025, the storm returned, bigger, more personal, and far more dangerous. Return of the Watchers. The TikTok that launched the new wave of scrutiny came from a user named @ThirdEyeAwakens, a slick, AI-generated avatar with over 3 million followers. Their video was titled, "Beyoncé's Bloodline, a Generational Pact." In the video, a voice narrated over slowed-down clips from Beyoncé's 2023 World Tour. It showed close-ups of Blue Ivy dancing on stage beside her mother. Then it cut to images from Egyptian temples, inverted pentagrams, and a grainy photo of Beyoncé's mother, Tina Knowles, at a gala with Rothschild family members. The most chilling moment came at the end, where the narrator said, "It's not about fame. It's about legacy. And the torch has already been passed." Viewers were encouraged to look deeper. Commenters obliged, digging through astrology charts, audio spectrograms of Beyoncé's vocals, and ancient numerology. One post went viral claiming the name Blue Ivy Carter could be rearranged to spell evil by recut layer. Beyoncé breaks silence. On the Oprah Conversation, Beyoncé finally addressed the theories. Seated in a quiet garden in Malibu, she wore a white linen suit and no makeup. Oprah, visibly uncomfortable, read from printed questions submitted by fans. "Do you have any comment on the rumors that you are part of the Illuminati or that your daughter has been chosen by a secret elite group?" Beyoncé leaned forward. "I've worked every day of my life since I was 9 years old. If that's a secret society, then it's called dedication," she said. As for Blue, she's a child. She's creative. She dances because she loves music. She's not a pawn. She's a human being. And if you can't see that, then maybe the only spell here is the one you're under. The hack. 1 week later, Beyoncé's personal email and iCloud were hacked. Photos of her tour rehearsal, including private snapshots of her daughters, were leaked to anonymous forums. But it wasn't just photos. One PDF file, titled The Pattern, contained references to intergenerational ritual prep, numerology dates, and a page titled Blue, Cycle Alignment Confirmed. The file looked convincing. Except it wasn't hers. It was an AI fabrication, deepfake data crafted to mimic her formatting, style, and tone. But the damage was done. Even reputable outlets ran headlines. Ritual prep? Beyoncé docs leak raises eyebrows. The tour that changed everything. Despite the chaos, Beyoncé refused to cancel her 2025 world tour. In fact, she expanded it, rebranding it as Reawakening. Blue Ivy appeared on stage in every show, now 13 years old and dancing with confidence. She wore all white, her hair braided into a crown, her gaze direct. In Berlin, a protest group hurled pamphlets onto the stage that read, "Wake up, this is not just music." In Tokyo, a fan rushed the stage with a sign that read, "Free Blue." Security tightened. Beyoncé didn't flinch. At every show, she spoke directly to the audience. "You don't define me. You don't define my daughter. We are not your myth, we are our own story." March 2025, Rome, Italy. Stadio Olimpico, Reawakening World Tour. As Beyoncé stood center stage beneath a digital backdrop of a glowing pyramid, a storm began to form, not overhead, but online. A new video had dropped on the dark web. It wasn't on YouTube. It wasn't even on TikTok. It was posted through a blockchain-locked torrent file titled Pyramid Protocol, Beyoncé's Path to Ascension. And within it, the theory escalated from rumor to full-blown ideological campaign. The Pyramid Protocol video. The 47-minute exposé began with a computerized voice reading a manifesto. They don't entertain. They initiate. The world is a stage. And you, the audience, are unwitting participants. The video claimed that Beyoncé's 2025 tour was not a concert series, but a live initiation ritual, preparing the masses for a spiritual transference of power into her daughter, Blue Ivy. It used concert footage, fan-posted clips, drone angles from above stadiums, and night vision photography. It decoded setlists using Hebrew gematria, circled pyramid-shaped lighting rigs, and slowed Beyoncé's vocals until they sounded demonic. The video cited the 13 stops of the first tour leg as symbolizing the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati. By the time the video ended, thousands had downloaded it. Mirror sites exploded. The hashtag Pyramid Protocol trended on X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and fringe forums like 4chan and Conspiracy Hub. Even tech influencers began sharing neutral breakdowns, inadvertently boosting its reach. School outrage and Blue Ivy's isolation. The public backlash took a chilling turn when elite private academies in London and Los Angeles, where Blue Ivy was rumored to be enrolled between tour dates, began receiving threats. Parents wrote open letters to school boards demanding that Blue be suspended for safety and spiritual integrity. One letter leaked to the press read, "Our children are being exposed to dark energies they do not understand. Blue Ivy may be a child, but her presence brings unwanted metaphysical influence." Beyoncé responded through her rep. "We will not remove our children from life because the world is afraid of their light." Blue Ivy stopped attending school in person. A private tutor was flown in mid-tour. Security doubled. The family's travel itineraries were now coded and encrypted. The Vatican whisper. In Rome, after a performance attended by over 80,000 people, an anonymous figure in priestly robes delivered a sealed letter to Beyoncé's security team. The envelope was marked only with a wax stamp, a triangle enclosing an eye. Inside, handwritten Latin text and a simple message in English. The circle has turned. She is marked. So are you. The letter was dismissed as an elaborate hoax. But that night, the hotel fire alarms went off at 3:33 a.m., prompting an evacuation. Beyoncé and her daughters stood barefoot on a cobblestone street in silk robes, flanked by guards, as camera flashes burst in the darkness. Within 12 hours, paparazzi photos of the moment were recut into evidence, videos showing Blue Ivy forming a triangle with her fingers as flames flickered behind her. The New Apostles. A group of spiritual influencers known as the Ninth Flame began hosting live streams analyzing Beyoncé's concerts as ritual mappings. Their videos showed concert stage layouts mirrored onto ancient city blueprints, Paris, Babylon, Atlantis, claiming that Beyoncé was activating a long-dormant planetary grid. Their claim: at the final show, the transfer will complete. Beyoncé will vanish. Blue Ivy will rise. Despite their fantastical language, they found real influence. One of their videos gained 28 million views in 4 days. Celebrities like Kanye West and Carrie Hilson liked related posts, fueling speculation. Even political figures commented. A U.S. senator was recorded saying, "I don't believe Beyoncé is evil, but the hysteria? It's hypnotic. It's something we've never seen before." Jay-Z's silence breaks. For months, Jay-Z remained silent. But in April 2025, while speaking at the Brooklyn Public Library to promote a new literacy program, a student asked, "Do you believe the Illuminati is real?" Jay-Z paused. Laughed softly. "Only thing I believe in is hard work and good contracts. All this other stuff? They're just scared of a woman at the top. So they invent demons to explain it." The clip went viral. Commenters posted side-by-side images of Jay-Z's diamond hand gesture at the 2005 BET Awards with an ancient Mesopotamian seal. Others analyzed the inflection of his laugh, calling it unnaturally slow. The more they denied it, the more believers doubled down. Private retreat, Ghana. Midway through the tour, Beyoncé halted all public activity and retreated to a private estate in Ghana, the ancestral homeland of her family lineage. There, she began filming a documentary with Blue Ivy, rumored to be titled "Uncrowned, What They Never Asked Me." Drone footage surfaced showing Beyoncé and Blue in white garments on a beach at sunrise, surrounded by a semicircle of women in matching robes. Though the footage was taken from nearly a mile away, grainy AI enhancement allowed conspiracy channels to insert digitally generated symbols into the images. The video was called "The Rebirth Ritual, Proof of the Blood Rite." None of it was real. But it didn't matter anymore. The eye appears again. In New York City, massive digital billboards began glitching briefly during a Spotify campaign for Beyoncé's new single. Instead of playing the ad, the screen showed, for 0.5 seconds, a flashing all-seeing eye symbol layered over Blue Ivy's face, followed by the words, "You were warned." It was later revealed to be the result of a hack by an anonymous group calling themselves Oathbreakers. But it was enough. Massive online calls to investigate Beyoncé trended globally. Conspiracy theorists picketed outside the Grammy Museum. Blue Ivy's name trended on Reddit as the heir to the eye. And in the White House briefing room, a reporter asked the press secretary, "Does the president have a position on the rumors of Beyoncé's involvement with occult networks?" The room went silent. June 2025, Lagos, Nigeria. Reawakening World Tour, Night of the Eclipse. The night sky over Lagos darkened not just from the total lunar eclipse overhead, but from the millions of screens glowing worldwide as Beyoncé took the stage for what had become known as the Eclipse Concert. Tickets had sold out in 39 seconds. Live stream rights were sold to every major platform, except Netflix, who declined due to controversial spiritual optics. But the spectacle wasn't the main event. All eyes were on Blue Ivy Carter, now 13, scheduled to perform her first solo. The performance. As the moon passed into Earth's shadow, the stadium lights went out. For 47 seconds, the crowd was cloaked in total darkness. Then came a single blue spotlight. Blue Ivy stood in a minimalist white gown, her hair crowned in braids, her hands held open at her sides. The crowd, silent. The air, electric. She opened her mouth and began to sing. No auto-tune. No effects. Just a soft, ancient melody. The lyrics were indecipherable, not English, not French, not Yoruba. Linguists watching later noted the phrasing resembled Akkadian, a dead language from 3000 BCE. Within an hour, clips flooded the internet. What language is this? Who taught her that? Listen to the background frequency, it's not normal. On TikTok, users played the track backward and swore they heard whispers. The gate is open. The heir has arrived. The mass dream. In the following days, a bizarre psychological phenomenon emerged. Thousands of people, from Brazil to Bulgaria, claimed they had the same dream the night of the concert. Social media users described it nearly identically. A desert temple. A glowing blue throne. A child standing beside a veiled woman. The words, "You were chosen," whispered in your ear. Forums labeled it the Blue Dream event. Psychologists called it mass parasocial delusion. Influencers called it spiritual sinking. But the believers had a new message. It's begun. The counter-movement, #GuardTheChild. In New York, Washington, D.C., London, and Berlin, protests erupted, but not against Beyoncé. They were for Blue Ivy. Mothers holding signs that read, "She's not a prophecy, she's a person. Stop weaponizing this child. Guard the child. Stop the cycle." The #GuardTheChild exploded on X. High-profile figures like Michelle Obama, Zendaya, and even Taylor Swift issued statements defending Blue's right to a private childhood. Swift tweeted, "Art is not evil. Children are not symbols. Let her live." That same day, Blue Ivy's private diary, or what appeared to be, was posted online. It contained deeply personal entries, fears, doubts, a sketch of herself surrounded by staring eyes. Experts later determined it was a sophisticated forgery generated using AI and her known handwriting style. But again, the truth no longer mattered. Beyoncé vanishes. On July 1, Beyoncé missed a show in Johannesburg for the first time in her career. No announcement. No postponement. No explanation. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some said she'd collapsed from exhaustion. Others said she'd entered a spiritual retreat. One theory claimed she had performed her final transferal and was now in silent watch. Her team released only one cryptic photo. A sandstorm. A figure walking into it, back turned, flanked by two smaller shadows. Captioned, "Legacy moves in silence." The fire in the archives. 10 days later, the headquarters of the Global Occult Research Foundation, GORF, in Geneva caught fire. The fire destroyed decades of archival footage, including a controversial vault of surveillance tapes supposedly documenting celebrity occult rituals. Most dismissed GORF as a fringe institution, until a surviving list of names emerged in the ash. Among them, Beyoncé Knowles, Jay-Z Carter, Blue Ivy Carter, Madonna, David Bowie, posthumously, Prince, posthumously. And beside Beyoncé's name, a stamped date, June 3, 2025, the same date as the Lagos Eclipse concert. Jay-Z speaks, alone. For the first time, Jay-Z appeared alone on CBS Sunday Morning. The host asked the question directly. "Do you believe what people are saying about your daughter?" Jay-Z looked straight into the camera. "No. I believe in her talent. I believe in her strength. And I believe the world's fear is just projection. We see power in a little black girl, and instead of celebrating it, we mystify it. Demonize it." He leaned forward. "But let me be clear. You touch my child, and it won't be spiritual justice you'll need to worry about." A secret broadcast. 3 days later, a signal hijacked local TV in Atlanta, Seattle, and Cape Town. An old analog broadcast opened with a glowing triangle and a static message. "The eye sees. The child rises." Then, 15 seconds of silence. Followed by a black screen with a message in ancient script. It took Reddit less than 24 hours to translate. Ascension complete. Await the voice. Was it an ARG? A hoax? Or something else? Blue Ivy speaks. On July 31st, Blue Ivy posted to her new verified account on X. "I am not your story. I am not your fear. I am not a symbol. I am a girl who dances. That is enough." It received 189 million views in 24 hours. August 2025, Santa Lucia Mountains, California. Location: the Knowles Carter Private Estate. Tucked into a remote ridgeline overlooking the Pacific Ocean, with no marked roads and signal jamming towers protecting it from drones, the Knowles Carter compound had been built in secrecy over 2 years. No official blueprints. No helicopter access. It was known only by insiders as the Hill. And now, conspiracy theorists called it something else. The Temple. Because of what had just been leaked. The aerial footage. An anonymous satellite operator leaked encrypted imagery from a weather monitoring drone that had strayed into private airspace above the estate. The images showed a massive circular platform etched with concentric rings. 12 pillars surrounding the main house. A central spire with mirrored surfaces, shaped unmistakably like an eye. The footage hit the dark web within hours and was immediately labeled "The Temple in the Hills." Within 48 hours, major news outlets, CNN, Fox, BBC, were forced to acknowledge it. MSNBC ran a full-hour panel titled, "Art or Occult? The Beyoncé Estate Mystery." Architectural experts claimed the design had astronomical alignment with major star constellations, specifically Sirius, often referred to as the Dog Star, and historically linked to Egyptian rebirth myths. But the most explosive theory was simple. The ascension wasn't a metaphor. It was a ritual. And this is its seat. Enter, the Oracle whistleblower. An anonymous post appeared on the encrypted forum Novaroot, signed only, "O." I worked security on the Hill. I saw things. There are no mirrors inside. Only polished obsidian. Every room echoes differently. The child never speaks aloud, only whispers. At midnight, they chant. This post was followed by coordinates, a trail cam still image allegedly showing Blue Ivy alone in the forest at night, wearing a crown of thorns and holding a book. Skeptics tore the claims apart. But believers multiplied. Global reaction turns violent. In Melbourne, a group of radicalized believers called the Awakening Choir tried to infiltrate the U.S. Embassy, chanting a Gregorian remix of Blue Ivy's Lagos melody. They claimed they were called to bear witness to her second vocal opening. In Brazil, a riot broke out when a local influencer posted a live stream claiming he'd been possessed by Beyoncé's spirit after listening to her last single in reverse. In Utah, an underground church declared Blue Ivy the future false prophet and held a televised burning of Beyoncé merchandise. Meanwhile, Beyoncé was still missing. The Vatican statement. In a move that stunned religious scholars, the Vatican released an official statement. The Church neither confirms nor denies the spiritual claims made surrounding the Knowles-Carter family. But we remind the faithful, God alone defines the divine. The last time such language was used publicly was in 1999, during the height of the Millennium Panic. For some, it was confirmation. For others, it was cowardice. Blue Ivy's private video. On August 28, a private video leaked from an unnamed member of Beyoncé's tour crew. In it, Blue Ivy sits at a window in the Hills' main villa, sketching a figure, a woman with braids, robes, and a flaming circle behind her head. The caption reads, "Mom says she's resting. But I think she's watching. The walls are warm at night." She looks into the camera. "I didn't ask for this." The clip cuts to black. The disappearance of O. 3 days after O posted coordinates, they vanished. Their user activity stopped. Their domain was scrubbed. Even their PGP keys returned null. Then came the image. A single photo posted to dozens of forums. A forest. An obsidian statue of a girl with her hand raised. The inscription. Speech is a cycle. Listening is the altar. Users debated whether the photo was real, an ARG, or a threat. Some said it was AI generated. Others said it wasn't a statue, it was her. The musical code. On September 3, Blue Ivy released a short track titled Reflections on an independent audio art site. No lyrics. Just layered frequencies, harmonics, reversed whispers. Cryptographers quickly found an embedded code using audio spectrograms. The message, when mapped, revealed. Truth is visible to those who look inward. Theories exploded. Was she admitting the Illuminati rumors? Was it a metaphor? Was it a call to silence? And then, silence. For 10 days, no posts. No leaks. No press. Just waiting. Return of the Queen. On the evening of September 13, a global feed on all major social networks was simultaneously interrupted by a short broadcast. Black screen. Then a voice. "I never vanished." "You did." The screen faded into Beyoncé, seated in the center of the temple spire, robed in gold, Blue Ivy standing silently at her side. She spoke. "We were never hiding. You were never looking. You feared our power, because you could not control it. So you called it dark. We called it home. This is not the end. This is the unveiling." Then, silence. September 21, 2025, the autumn equinox. Location, global broadcast from the Hill. The hour arrived with no fanfare. No trailers. No teasers. No countdown clock. At exactly 6:06 p.m. Universal Time Coordinated, the skies across multiple continents flickered, not physically, but digitally. Social feeds, smart TVs, and even some streaming platforms were overridden by a signal. The black screen slowly transitioned to an aerial view of the Knowles-Carter compound, the now infamous temple in the hills. And then the words appeared, in bold white type. The unveiling. The ceremony. The camera descended. Beyoncé stood in a ring of 12 women, poets, dancers, spiritual leaders, all of whom had been part of her previous tour. In the center stood Blue Ivy, barefoot, dressed in crimson. Behind her, a mirrored obelisk reflected the sun perfectly, casting a beam directly onto her face. There was no sound. Just presence. Then Beyoncé spoke. They called it conspiracy. They called it cult. But we call it continuation. She raised a hand. The obelisk shimmered. The camera lens blinked white. The message. What followed was not a concert, but a manifesto, part spoken word, part ambient performance art, part ancient rite. It was divided into 3 acts. ACTI, The Mask. A choreographed retelling of Beyoncé's life, each stage performed by dancers wearing sculpted faces of her different eras: Destiny's Child, Dangerously in Love, Lemonade, Renaissance, all gradually peeling away to reveal no face beneath. Voiceover. You made me mask myself to make you comfortable. Each smile was a compromise. Each dress, a translation. Now I return to original language. ACT2, The Bloodline. Footage played of Blue Ivy as a toddler, growing, dancing, learning piano, reading under candlelight, always filmed from a respectful distance. Then, shots of ancestral ceremonies, Yoruba chants, Gullah prayers, forgotten matriarchs. Voiceover. This line does not end with me. It speaks through me. ACT3, The Mirror. The camera focused on the audience, not in the temple, but at home. Users who watched via smart devices saw their own images momentarily appear on screen, caught via camera APIs, a haunting moment that blurred the line between witness and participant. Then Beyoncé looked directly into the lens. This was never about me. You were the ritual. You were the vessel. Now, awaken. The screen went dark. Aftermath. The world reeled. Across every continent, reactions were polarized. Some praised the broadcast as the most revolutionary act of Afrofeminist performance art ever attempted. Others called it a global psychic intrusion. Certain fringe churches labeled it the opening of the final seal. One U.S. senator called for an emergency hearing on digital hypnotic suggestion. The term unveiling syndrome began trending, where viewers reported vivid dreams, lost time, or strange synchronicities after watching. TikTok was flooded with videos of people crying, speaking in unknown tongues, or standing motionless in fields. Psychologists tried to calm the hysteria. It didn't work. Jay-Z's final interview. In a surprise appearance on PBS Frontline, Jay-Z sat with folded hands, weathered and calm. The interviewer asked, "Is it real? Was the Illuminati ever real?" Jay-Z smiled faintly. The Illuminati was never a group. It was a metaphor for power without apology. And she mastered it. Where is Beyoncé now? She vanished again. No public appearances. No posts. No sightings. Only a single message posted from her verified X account. The crown is circular. And the song never ends. Blue Ivy, now 14, has reportedly been offered multiple book deals, TED Talk invitations, and a global youth ambassadorship from the UN. She has declined all of them. Her official statement: "There is nothing to explain. I am a child. The rest is projection." Legacy. Universities have opened courses titled Beyoncé and the Politics of the Divine. Myth-making in the 21st Century. Children, Symbolism, and Consent in Public Culture. The Knowles Carter Temple remains sealed, drones banned, journalists denied entry. Still, people gather at the base of the mountain every solstice. Some pray. Some protest. Most just listen. For something. For someone. Epilogue: the eye closes. 1 year later, a new monument appeared overnight in the Sahara Desert. 12-foot sculpture of a crowned girl with no face. Surrounded by lyrics etched in a spiral. I sang once. You listened always. Now sing back. There was no plaque. Just the eye. Watching. Or, resting.